You know what an animal should be like, and if there's any deviation to the regular physical exam, then you find out what it is.
Audiences around the world were left stunned just moments ago following an unexpected and deeply emotional announcement from the beloved veterinarian Dr. Jan Pol, star of The Incredible Dr. Pol. Known for his tireless work ethic, compassion, and straightforward charm, Dr. Pol has been a fixture in homes for over a decade. But today, the man who's devoted his life to saving animals revealed heartbreaking news that has left his family, staff, and fans shaken. What led to this moment? And what does it mean for the future of his clinic, and his legacy? Stay with us as we unpack the emotional farewell that has everyone talking. For more than 50 years, Dr. Jan Pol has embodied the spirit of rural veterinary care. Born in the Netherlands in 1942, he moved to Michigan with his wife, Diane, and together they built a small clinic that would later become world famous. When The Incredible Dr. Pol premiered on Nat Geo Wild in 2011, viewers were instantly captivated. The show followed him through every challenge, delivering calves at dawn, performing life-saving surgeries, and tackling emergencies in all kinds of weather. Fans admired his skill and resilience, marveling at his ability to work endless hours even into his late 70s and 80s. He was unstoppable. But over the past year, viewers noticed subtle changes. There were fewer field calls, and Dr. Pol appeared slower, more fatigued. Fans began speculating online that something wasn't right, though neither his family nor the network addressed the rumors. That silence ended abruptly earlier today when Dr. Pol released a heartfelt video message to his fans. Seated in his familiar office, surrounded by photos of his family and animals, Dr. Pol spoke softly, his voice filled with emotion. "I've always said that every life is worth saving," he began, pausing as if to find the right words. "But sometimes, even the doctor needs a little healing, too." Those words hit hard. For decades, people had seen him as larger than life, the man who could brave blizzards, treat injured livestock in the dead of night, and never back down. Yet now, there was a vulnerability that no one had seen before. He went on to explain that after several months of dizziness and fatigue, he underwent a series of medical tests that led to a diagnosis he described as both humbling and frightening. Though he didn't name the condition, close friends later confirmed it was a degenerative illness affecting his mobility and stamina. Fans across the globe were heartbroken. After all, this was the man who had always seemed immune to time. But at 83, even Dr. Pol had to face his limits. As his message continued, gratitude replaced sorrow. "I've been lucky," he said. "I've spent my life doing what I love. I've seen beginnings and endings, joy and heartbreak, and I wouldn't trade a single day." Behind him, Diane smiled through tears, silently affirming what had clearly been a long and painful decision. Then came the moment fans had been dreading. After a deep breath, Dr. Pol announced he would be stepping away from the show. "It's time to slow down," he admitted. "My body's been telling me what my mind didn't want to hear. It's time to rest." The words hung heavy in the air. But they were honest, just like him. He explained that his illness had forced him to reconsider what truly mattered, his family, his health, and the animals he could still help on his own time. "I want people to remember me as the doctor who gave everything for his patients," he added, his wife reaching over to hold his hand. Behind the camera, his son Charles, the show's producer, was in tears. For him, this wasn't just his father stepping back, it was the end of an era. Within minutes of the video's release, social media exploded with tributes. Hashtags like #ThankYouDrPol and #PolStrong trended worldwide as fans shared memories of how he had inspired them to care for animals. "He taught me that compassion has no limits," one fan wrote. Still, Dr. Pol reassured everyone that he wasn't disappearing. "I'll still be around the clinic when I can," he said with a small smile. "It's time for the next generation to take the reins." That moment, both heartbreaking and hopeful, signaled the close of one of television's most beloved chapters. Later that evening, the clinic staff gathered for a private meeting. Dr. Brenda, who had worked beside him for decades, summed up everyone's feelings. There will never be another Dr. Paul. He's more than a boss, he's family. The room filled with memories and laughter as they recalled his legendary dedication, the times he'd drive through snowstorms, the nights he refused to leave until every animal was stable, and his constant jokes that kept morale high. Even as tears fell, the team promised to keep his legacy alive. That same night, fans in Michigan organized a candlelight vigil outside the clinic. Farmers, pet owners, and children gathered to say thank you. One little girl held a sign reading, "You saved my puppy, Dr. Paul." The love was overwhelming. But the next morning, as always, Dr. Paul showed up to work. "Animals don't take holidays," he teased the staff. Though his steps were slower and his energy measured, his heart remained unstoppable. He examined a sick goat, comforted a worried family, and left everyone smiling. In the days that followed, tributes poured in from across the country. Media outlets celebrated him as America's favorite vet. Old clips from the show resurfaced, Dr. Paul delivering calves in the freezing cold, fixing broken legs, and laughing after a long day. For many, he wasn't just a television figure, he was a friend. Behind the scenes, his condition had been advancing for some time. At first, the signs were small, tremors, fatigue, but eventually, even simple tasks became harder. Diane had urged him to slow down, but he refused. "You can't quit just because you're sick," he told her. "You just keep going." That resilience became his trademark, and his message to the world. To support him, Charles and Diane made adjustments at the clinic, hiring extra staff and allowing him to focus on mentoring. He still arrived early, coffee in hand, ready to check on patients and share advice. Even when told to rest, he couldn't resist helping. "I'll just watch," he'd say, then dive right in when someone needed a hand. His sense of humor remained intact through it all. "Retirement," he joked, "just means I get to talk more and run less." Though the illness slowed him physically, his passion never faded. When Nat Geo Wild announced a farewell special titled A Lifetime of Healing, Dr. Paul at first refused, saying, "I don't need a tribute. I just did my job." Eventually, he agreed, on one condition: make it about the animals, not about me. The special chronicled his entire journey, from his early days in the Netherlands to decades of hard work in Michigan. Farmers, clients, and former interns shared stories of his impact. One longtime client hugged him and said, "You saved more of my animals than I can count. You've earned your rest." Dr. Paul smiled and replied, "I didn't do it alone." When the special aired, millions tuned in.